Nick Foles had a funny little jab. He said, "Don't lose faith, Broncos fans. Backup quarterbacks have a good history against the
I
Patriots."
like that.
It's good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Hanging in there. Still
Yeah,
pretty pissed off about the Texans game.
understandable. Feels like some of those days are a little bit grayer than others.
Yeah, for sure. It comes and goes. Just like, the thoughts of like what could have been. And similarly, we both kind of like beat ourselves, our teams. They didn't really like stomped by the other team. They just kind of couldn't get out of their own way or take advantage of the opportunities that were given them. Like AJ Brown or some of those turnovers the Eagles couldn't capitalize on in that game, right? And then kind of same with the Texans is CJ Stroud couldn't get out of his own way, despite like the defense really giving only 7 points off of the 5 turnovers that we had, which was the pick six. It just never really felt like we were in that game with how Stroud was playing, even though we were the whole time. The defense was keeping us in it. You just got to think now with Denver, Bo Nick's out. You just think, God, New England's just got another easy path to the Super Bowl. That's annoying. Also, just Stroud just plays a regular game, maybe throws 2 picks, and marks his first fumble lost all year. I know he's a rookie, but still, that was huge. That would have been a big momentum swing because that was off of their turnover right after the second half started. So yeah, just a lot of missed opportunities and putting the ball on the ground. It was like 8 or 9 total turnovers in the Houston game by both teams, which is
Yeah, it
just
was
wild.
crazy.
I'm buying a Will Anderson Jr. jersey. He fucking
Mhm.
deserves it after the year that he had. He had 3 sacks in the game, 2 forced fumbles. Like, guy's incredible. So, gonna get a Will Anderson jersey.
Hell yeah. Could easily get a
Go ahead.
Stingley or a Jalen Petrie
Yeah,
one too.
Petrie, Lassiter. Yeah, some of those guys are just monsters on defense.
If it,
Aziz. Yeah,
do you guys have a name yet for that defense?
Swarm is their
Swarm?
is
Okay.
their name. Yeah, they call themselves. Brand motto is just Swarm.
That's tight.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a good year. I mean, to think like I didn't even think we were going to make the playoffs to now be me being upset that we lost in the divisional round to a really good opponent. I gotta just, take that as it was a good year.
28-16 was the final. While CJ Stroud, he did have 5 turnovers, you already mentioned. The 4 interceptions and the 1 fumble, but he wasn't the only one. I mean, Drake May did have 3 turnovers of his own at
Yeah.
home.
He had
So,
2 more fumbles they recovered
and
that we couldn't fall on.
it was snowing throughout, right?
Yeah. It was
Um,
never
so
never really dry.
so that
CJ Stroud also looked like he got his hand stepped on early.
So maybe some of those you can put on them, and then some of those, yes, the weather was a factor for sure. I mean, between you and me, obviously, we know that last game wasn't a representation of CJ Stroud. You got that championship defense. The Patriots had a couple less turnovers, went their way.
They played the better game. That touchdown in the fourth quarter was incredible. That one-handed catch by Booty
Yeah,
um, was
yeah.
crazy. Kind of was the dagger. But yeah, they made more plays than us for sure. We kicked 3 field goals, 2 of them in the red zone. Can't do that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, you got to chalk it up to definitely, yeah. It's crazy with how many 6 turnovers or whatever that we were even still in the game.
That,
So.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a good point. The fact that, yes, despite all those turnovers, it just still felt like you were in it.
yeah,
Even though, the offense at times was like, it felt like a little bit stagnant, the fact that the point total was within a touchdown, it
yeah.
just felt like, eh,
CJ did have 2 good drives in the sec to start the second half, and they just both ended up in field goals, unfortunately. Or one was a field goal, the other one was the Marks fumble, and then we kicked another field goal after that turnover that May had. I think the Stroud talk is going to be is he's going into his first extension eligible year. So, a lot of people are going to be talking about trade him or whatever, but I still see him as a young talent. He needs to learn how to read defenses more maybe and just get more comfortable. And if they keep the same, it was first year of this offensive coordinator too, and it was his first year ever being a coordinator that high. So it was learning curve for everybody. Didn't have Nico, didn't have Dalton Schultz for most of that game too, which is
That's
huge.
right.
Maybe get Tank Dell back at some point, and that offense looks a lot. No Joe Mixon all year too. We don't know if he's going to ever come back and play. So the offense could look a lot better moving forward, I think, with Stroud as well. Get him some more weapons and we'll just let him develop a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. I do recall like at certain point where they were just struggling, but then as you were saying, they just kept falling by the wayside one by one. Dalton Schultz, but then I think even Cade Stover, the backup, got hurt.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
maybe it was like the right tackle was out for a little bit. They had to
Marks was out for a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, so
it was.
they just all kind of just and then at a certain point it just like you just can't stop it, it's just
Yeah.
so.
And you got Christian Gonzalez, a Pro Bowler, on Kirk, basically, who's our only receiver that's not a rookie. So it should be better moving forward. Obviously, we were 0-3 to start the year, so you got to be happy with another playoff win, I would say.
Other AFC game, we had the Broncos narrowly taking down the Bills, but at what
Man,
cost?
yeah, geez. For both teams, at what
Yeah.
cost, right? McDermott fired and being thrown shade at immediately about certain things from the owner. And then on the other side, the Broncos win it, but Bo Nix is out. Yeah, I don't really trust Jared Stidham at all. I mean, their defense is decent, but there's no way that the Patriots don't just put up a bunch of points on these guys, I think. If they can get 6 turnovers from the Houston offense, I think they can make something happen against Stidham. But yeah, more about the Bills. I mean, this is on Josh Allen more than anybody, I think. They had plenty of opportunities in that game to continue to be in that game or win, and they couldn't make them, or Josh would make a mistake. That fumble at the end of the first half cost them 3 points and they lost by three. So just you got to play better, smarter football. Like CJ Stroud, you got to take care of the football, and in the playoffs, every point matters.
Yeah, that backwards fumble, it almost reminded me of like the Eagles game too. He had something similar happen to him. But yeah, it's gonna be no Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar, lost to Knicks, got your coach fired, whether he deserved it or not. I will say about the Broncos, Nick Foles had a funny little jab. He said, "Don't lose faith, Broncos fans. Backup quarterbacks have a good history against the
I
Patriots."
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything can happen. It's the NFL. The guy's, he's been in all the meetings and played a lot of the stuff. He was a starter.
The interesting thing is like he started and he was previously on the Patriots.
Mm,
They know him well too.
interesting. Yeah.
McDaniel and them, yeah. I was gonna mention too before I forget the Bills side, yes, we do put a lot of the blame on Josh Allen. What did you think about the Brandon Cooks interception, not a catch?
It looked like it was the right call to me. I don't think he ever had
Oh, so,
possession.
so you don't think he ever, so you thought that was legit?
Yeah.
Did it bug you at all that they didn't review it, or you just thought,
Yes,
oh,
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah. They should have stopped the game and taken a look at it at least in overtime, when you can't even challenge something. You got to do that. And maybe they did do that and we didn't know, but it didn't compared to the other one that they're comparing, that Devonte Adams catch looks totally different to me. Like he's like has the catch and then goes forward and stops or whatever. Like this is still one continuous motion. I think they
Like
definitely should have looked at it for sure.
they should have definitely looked at it. I could hear your argument. I'm kind of on the other side. I did think it was a catch, but who knows? I mean, if
And he was down. Yeah.
and to say he was, they were like practically at the 20, 30-yard line. They could have kicked the field goal there. They win. Who knows?
Yeah.
What if?
Lots of what ifs.
But
Patriots just bullshit. Super Bowl run again. Sorry, Leslie.
but just since we already previewed those, do we let's quickly just preview the AFC. championship game right now. So
Yeah.
we have Patriots visiting the Broncos. Broncos, again, like we just said, down Bo Nix. How are we feeling about the game?
I think it'll be close, at least for a while. There's still a lot of football players out there besides just the one backup guy. If the other guys can help him out and just, Sean Payton's a pretty good guy, offensive guy, maybe they can work up some fun plays. But if they get down, it's going to be a problem coming back. And that Patriots defense sure looked pretty good last week. So I'm definitely picking the Patriots. I think they win by 7, maybe 10, but I think it will be close for a while. I think it was
No.
like 4.5 or something.
Yeah, we
They're
got
favored.
Pats four. It's everywhere from 4.5 to 5.5, possibly. Over under is 42.5 right now.
Seems kind of high.
I think I looked and it said they haven't played each other this year at all. Patriots traveling, but they do have the QB edge. They just have a very good disciplined defense, disciplined team in general. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Not that the Broncos do either. I mean, Sean Payton has that team coached up really well. But again, it comes back to the quarterback in the end.
Yeah,
I got to give it to the Patriots. Probably like a 30-20 game.
yeah, I'm with you. I think the Broncos can put up a couple scores, maybe on defense. May has been turning it over if you can get to him, but maybe he'll play a little bit better. I think it would be wild if the Broncos can pull this one out.
I think this is one of those games where Sean Payton pulls one of his tricks out of the bag. Those special teams
Yeah,
plays or
for
something like
sure.
that. He's gonna have to.
Yeah, I could see that. He's gonna have to do something to keep it interesting. You want to recap some of the NFC games?
Yeah. So we got
That
Pat.
Bears Rams game was insane. Again, Bears have just not disappointed.
I was gonna say let's first review the Seahawks Rams game. Okay, we're done. Okay, so now we can move on to the let's move on to
The Niners. Yeah, God, that was so
Oh, sorry,
bad.
I'm sorry. The Niners.
So boring. You forgot even who played. They're out of your mind so fast. It was exactly like we said it was going to be. We said it was going to be one of two ways. It was going to be exactly like that game that they played 3 weeks ago, or the Niners were going to somehow make Sam Darnold be playoff Sam Darnold again. But wow, shout out Raheed Shaheed, my high school alma mater alumni, running back a touchdown on the first play of the kickoff or whatever. That was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
There's
some
no way they didn't have to score anything else the whole rest of that game, and they could have won
yeah.
7-6. Unbelievable. Seattle's going all the way. I hope they can win it because I don't want to see the Rams win it. I'm sorry. I know. I don't
Yeah.
know if you're a Rams fan at all from
Nah.
LA, but yeah,
For the game, I'd probably give you more credit because I thought the 49ers would put up a little bit more of a fight. Just like the talent that they still had left, even though they were very depleted. They still had CMC, so I would always give them a chance. But a little bit reminded me of your game in terms of the injuries, but almost worse, times like five, because they were just falling down by flies and they just had nothing left. And it really
yeah,
did show. I thought with the lingering Super Bowl home game, they might put up a little bit more, but they just looked like they just had nothing left. I was hoping
yeah.
I would also see Sam Darnold do like a little bit more. They
You're gonna
advance.
get it this
Yeah.
weekend for sure.
And Rashid
He's gonna
Shaheed
have to put up points. Yeah.
is on my dynasty team and he's on the trade block if you want him. If,
I might have to look into that
if
for
you're
sure. What a crazy game that was. I turned it off at halftime and I think I just like checked back at some point and I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's still a crazy blowout." Nice. Complete opposite of the other game. Like you just couldn't turn it off if you looked away for 1 second.
Yeah, so let's go to that game
It
now.
was somebody else had the ball and they were going to score or something. That was like a Madden play to end that game, dude. There's no way that should have worked at all.
Yeah, the
It's like we're playing NFL Blitz and you just run around for 10 minutes, like 30 yards back, and then just chuck it.
where does that throw rank all time for you?
It's up there with maybe that Aaron Rodgers ridiculous one.
I mean, obviously, like everyone, as soon as he was like going back and back, it almost feels like it's less and less likely this is gonna work. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
he's throwing it out of bounds or like at this rate, or
it's not
it's
going to get there.
and
Yeah.
then it just happens to just perfectly land in Cole Kmet's hands.
And he's like wide open.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what did even happen? Yeah.
Yeah. But Bears, cardiac kid, the all of that, the craziness, the chaos, the luck runs out to the Rams in overtime, 20-17.
What do you think? You're happy to see them lose, I'm sure.
I was
But
happy to see them lose. I was slightly rooting for the Rams there, not gonna lie.
what a
I
ride it's been, though.
but I give him credit, Ben Johnson needed some humble pie, but for sure, I mean, the way he turned that team around. Caleb did ultimately turn into Caleb when it came to that overtime interception,
He
but
did. Yeah.
it was
It's
it was unnecessary.
I thought so too. And he does that, and we've talked about that. He just has either he misses guys wide open or just stupid decisions. Kind of like Stroud was just like, dude, like all you gotta do is like first down, just throw the ball away, man.
Yeah.
Like don't why are you forcing this? Like you got the best defense,
Hmm.
you know?
Or just
Like
take the sack sometimes.
just take a sack. Yeah, it's okay. You know, like you don't have to be, these guys think they have to be the hero. I know the pressure is on them, but
Hmm.
it's some one of the,
Yeah.
it was going to come back to get them at some point. So they should have put up points earlier. They had a couple chances and they kicked field goals, just like the Rams did. And I think that could have, that's a huge, as we've seen in the playoffs, it's been a huge emphasis if you can score touchdowns versus field goals because all these games have been so close. I mean, except a handful of them have been a couple blowouts, but everything has been so close, goes down to the wire.
The fact that the Bears defense did hold the Rams to 20 points or technically even 17 in regulation, I think
Huge.
is huge. So that I would have predicted Bears to win. But like you said, just settling for three a few times, it's came back
It
to
comes
bite
back to
them.
get you. Yeah, totally. And they just couldn't do it. Same with Buffalo. Gave up a couple bad points, and you just can't do anything to stop the bleeding.
One more thing, just like
No, go
in,
ahead.
in a similar way where the Brandon Cooks could have turned that into a Buffalo game winning kick. The Caleb right before the Caleb interception, I think it was similar. Like they're only like 20 yards away because I think they're like on the 50-yard
Yeah,
line
they were.
going
They
for the
were.
win. Yeah.
hmm It was in field goal range for sure, I think. That's crazy that both those teams ended up losing and they had the second possession or whatever. But
Mm.
the Cinderella story of Matthew Stafford continues to run. Do
Hmm.
you think they can get it done in Seattle?
Rams at Seattle Seahawks. I think they can. It looks like its total is 46.5 to 47.5. Seahawks minus 2.5.
Okay.
Week 11, Rams won at home 21-19. Week 16, Seahawks won at home in overtime 38 to 37.
Oh yeah, I remember that game. It was wild at the end. Yeah, wow. I mean, like that's close games in the regular season, obviously. It's funny that Seattle's playing two division opponents in both rounds of the playoffs. So good for them. I don't know who to pick. This
Hmm.
is tough. I think the line's very good. I mean, Seattle might have the slight edge, but the Rams are just cooking right now on offense and everything. So
Yeah, the Seahawks, if we're saying the more overall balanced team, I actually think the Seahawks do slightly. But actually, well, when I think about it, the Charbonnet injury does hurt them.
absolutely. Yeah.
Forgot about that for a second. The goal line, short yardage. Ken Walker's been great. He had like three TDs the last game, but you need to balance him out a little bit. So yeah, they're both pretty evenly balanced. This is again, like we said, divisional game, third time playing each other. While it is a Seahawks home game, they could easily get up, and that crowd and that defense, they've been flying around. They're loud. The 12s. It's Matthew Stafford. He's been borderline MVP this whole year. If there's one quarterback that wouldn't be phased by that, and can play up to playoff caliber level, championship level, it's him.
I'd like to see the Rams get knocked off. I'd like to see Seattle win. I think they have a better chance against the Patriots in a potential Super Bowl matchup. Obviously,
Hmm.
the Boston versus LA would probably sell more
Hmm.
tickets to the Super Bowl.
It's tough. I would really want to see if the Seahawks win. I want to see Sam Darnold win this game. Like put it on his shoulders too.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Rams.
Okay. Nice. I like it. We should differ a little bit. It's anybody's game, honestly. I think it's a good
Yeah,
matchup. I think a lot
yeah,
of people
yeah.
picked this as a potential NFC matchup with the way both these teams have been playing.
You got
But it's
Seahawks?
going to be a good game.
You
Yeah,
got
I
S-
got
okay,
Seahawks.
okay.
I'm picking the Seahawks. I think it's going to be really close. It should might be an offensive game. I don't know. Do we check the weather? Is it going to be dry or wet or I didn't check. That sure played a difference in that Houston game, man, for sure. That snow was brutal. So if it's cold up there, that could be a difference.
Yeah, so
But yeah,
we both have Patriots over the Broncos,
yeah,
but we differ in the NFC game.
yeah,
You have Seahawks, I have Rams. Okay.
yep. Sticking
Uh,
with it.
Regardless of the NFC win, I'm sure 49ers faithful is happy that one of those two teams will be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl in their stadium.
They have to be pissed about that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just imagine like if the Eagles had it and the Cowboys were there, gross, you know? Imagine.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know what
That would
team that is
be
for you out of it.
so,
Jacksonville or
yeah.
something? Yeah.
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 Yeah. For sure. I would have been pretty bummed if Jacksonville went like really far or like further than we've gone in the last couple of years. Oh, you want to talk
Sure.
about the coaches? A couple coaches have been
You can talk
hired
about the
and
coaches.
fired.
I have some of the lists real fast. If you don't mind, I can just read down some.
Go for
So
it.
just quickly, just a Thursday, January 2nd update. So Giants have John Harbaugh now. The Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley, who was the Packers DC most recently. The Falcons hired Kevin Stefanski, formerly the Browns head coach. And then we have Ravens just recently hired Jesse Minter, who is the Chargers DC with Jim Harbaugh. And then the Titans hired Robert Saleh from the 49ers. So a lot of the most interesting thing is like a lot of DC or a lot of
Yeah.
defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And then so the remaining ones, Bills, which is possibly Dayball, it's looking like reunite Josh Allen. The Browns, Cardinals, the Raiders, and then the Steelers. And then again, we know about Mike McDaniel. He actually opted for Chargers OC.
Yeah. I don't think we're surprised by any of these, really. Well, I think we thought Stefanski was gonna get an opportunity somewhere. Obviously, we knew Harbaugh was gonna go somewhere. Not super surprised that some of these teams are still waiting, too. A lot of teams waited last year for coordinators that went pretty far. But I just can't believe how many people got fired.
Yeah, 10.
It's just that's the most amount I've ever remembered. And it was only like a few during the season. Usually if it's high, it's like three guys got fired during the season or something, or two have been fired. I guess one retired or whatever, post playoffs even. And it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. We'll see what some of these other ones who they decide to go with. Raiders and lots of other teams still looking for their boss.
Yeah, and we'll have a more updated video as the hirings are updated.
Clippers just beat
Um,
the Lakers in the close one. Looks like
uh, we don't want to hear that.
boo. No.
All right, well, thank you for tuning into the Schlabcast.
Yeah, Shalabish.
Shabalabish. We'll see you guys soon.
Enjoy your championship Sunday. Shaba.